Ladies and gentlemen, Facebook is really under a lot of fire right now. Now, how many times have we heard about Facebook, especially Black Facebook users that are out there going into Facebook jail because of some opinion you expressed or a video you posted and they didn't agree with it? Right? Happened multiple times, over and over and over. Some people have been in Facebook jail multiple times, right? They're always trying to shut you down for some minute shit or just an opinion that they decide they don't like. But opioids were being sold on Facebook and they didn't do anything to stop it. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? They are very selective about who they go after and who they leave alone. Very selective. So this came out on CNN Tech, April 11th, 2018. Mark Zuckerberg takes heat over illegal opioid sales on Facebook. And this is not something that just cropped up overnight, y'all. It's been going on for quite some time. But they're so busy trying to micromanage, especially Black people that are out on Facebook. I remember they put, this must have been a few years back, maybe 2 years ago, they put a Black woman in Facebook jail because she was discussing starting Black businesses out on Facebook. And they put her in Facebook jail over that. But these folks sold opioids, an illegal drug out there. And Facebook let it happen. Representative David McKinley, a Republican from West Virginia, was one of those who pressed Zuckerberg on why Facebook hasn't done more to remove posts from sellers offering illicit opioids. Your platform is still being used to circumvent the law and allow people to buy highly addictive drugs without a prescription. With all due respect, Facebook is actually enabling illegal activity. And in doing so, you are hurting people. You'd agree with that statement, he asks. Critics have called out tech companies for not doing enough to crack down on illicit drug sales on their platform. The issue isn't exactly new. In 2011, Google agreed to pay $500 million to the Department of Justice for showing prescription drug ads from Canadian online pharmacies to U.S. consumers. It has stopped the practice in 2009 once it became aware of the investigation by a U.S. Attorney's Office. But sellers are still finding ways to post about drug sales on platforms like Facebook and Instagram. So it's going on Instagram too, which critics have accused of being reactive, largely waiting for activists or the press to surface issues and help police their forums, their platforms. Content removal across tech platforms has largely been a game of whack-a-mole. Just last week, one woman, Eileen Carey, pushed a Facebook executive to remove hashtag OxyContin, among other terms, from Instagram, the photo sharing app owned by Facebook. Carey told CNN that she reached out directly to the exec after failed attempts at flagging the content with the Instagram platform. Responding to McKinley, Zuckerberg circled the issue by talking about how the companies need to build more artificial intelligent tools. That's the last thing we need. We see how that's working out on YouTube, right? See, you know what that is. They're too lazy and too cheap to hire the manpower to do these things. They want to rely on these robots that ultimately start flagging every little teensy weensy thing out here, start demonetizing everything in sight. That's what they want to rely on. For now, he said, the company largely relies on its security and content reviewers to take down posts that were flagged by users. He has said that it will have 20,000 people in those roles by the end of the year. So if you still decide to stay out on Facebook, it's about to get worse for you. We need artificial intelligence tools that can proactively find content, Zuckerberg say. You know, that I'm sorry. I'm just experiencing their artificial intelligence on YouTube. It really sucks. It really does. So as you can see, all of these social media platforms are all relying on this software to sniff out certain things. And, you know, like I said, they go overboard with it. Some of the posts McKinley flagged to Facebook have already been taken down. The internal controls don't seem to be adequate. Something should have picked up these posts long before. So even with artificial intelligence, it never picked up on the opioid sales that were going on Facebook. But it can pick out a little harmless video of a person speaking their opinion. But artificial intelligence was not able to pick up on opioid sales going on Facebook, y'all. Woo, y'all are a mess out here. You should slap the person that made that artificial intelligence. That's all I could say. Meanwhile, overdose deaths from prescription and illicit opioids have doubled over the past 6 years alone, from 21,089 deaths across the nation in 2010 to 42,249 in 2016. Representative John Carter, a Republican from Texas, also brought up the opioid plague in questioning Zuckerberg, asking him whether he was aware of the various statistics related to the scale of the issue. Zuckerberg was mused on the gravity of the issue before. So he's just pretty much sitting there and dancing around these issues. What can he really say? You really think about this. What could he really say at this point? First of all, they had a data breach of personal information. Facebook has been in violation of multiple privacy acts many times. We all know Facebook divulges information without your consent. They've been called out on that. And now drug dealing is going on Facebook, and it was not stopped. And it's still going on, from what this article says. I mean, at this point, what can he really say? You know, what can he really say? There's really nothing he can say. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen, about this article. This is pretty horrific. Facebook, it seems like they just don't have the manpower to handle what's going on. That's why he's talking about bringing in 20,000 additional people to help with, you know, I guess with monitoring, just like YouTube had to bring in 10,000. And we see how well that's going, right? But let me go ahead and play this video.
How many data categories do you store? Does Facebook store on the categories that you collect?
Senator, can you clarify what you mean by data categories?
Well, there's some past reports that have been out there that indicate that Facebook collects about 96 data categories for those 2 billion active users. That's 192 billion data points that are being generated, I think, at any time from consumers globally. So how many does Facebook store out of that? Do you store any?
Senator, I'm not actually sure what that is referring to.
Could somebody call you up and say, I want to see John Kennedy's file?
Absolutely not.
Could you, would you do it? Could you do it?
In theory.
Do you have the right to put my data, a name on my data, and share it with somebody?
I do not believe we have the right to do that.
Do you have the ability?
Senator, the data is in the system.
Do you have the ability?
Technically, I think someone could do that, but that would be a massive breach. So we would never do that.
It would be a breach.
Are you willing to change your business model in the interest of protecting individual privacy?
Congresswoman, have made and are continuing to make changes to reduce the amount of data.
Are you willing to change your business model in the interest of protecting individual privacy?
Congresswoman, I'm not sure what that means.
If I choose to terminate my Facebook account, can I bar Facebook or any third parties from using the data that I had previously supplied for any purpose whatsoever?
Yes, Senator. If you delete your account, we should get rid of all of your information.
You should, or
we do?
You?
We do.
How about third parties that you have contracted with to use some of that underlying information, perhaps to target advertising for themselves? You can't. Do you claw back that information as well, or does that remain in their custody?
Well, Senator, this is actually a very important question. I'm glad you brought this up because there's a very common misperception about Facebook that we sell data to advertisers, and we do not sell data to advertisers.
Well,
we don't sell data.
Clearly rent it.
Quite a story, right? Dorm room to the global behemoth that you guys are. Only in America. Would you agree with that?
Senator, mostly in America.
You couldn't do this in China, right? Or what you did in 10 years.
Well, Senator, there are some very strong Chinese internet companies.
Right, but you're supposed to answer yes to this question.
Even if Facebook doesn't earn money from selling data, doesn't Facebook earn money from advertising based on that data?
Yes, Congresswoman, we run ads. That's the business model is running ads.
How do you sustain a business model in which users don't pay for your service?
Senator, we run ads.
Wow. He didn't do well in answering those questions at all, y'all. He didn't do well at all. I'm really surprised. He owns this company. And Facebook has been around for some time. But when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of his own company, he really don't know. This man is really a CEO that's hands off. He doesn't know what's going on within his own company. This was very telling watching him answer these questions. And again, get off of Facebook. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.